We are the SASSETA that's responsible for the safety and security sector, which in terms of the SEED codes comprises of police, defense, correctional services, legal services, justice, private security and intelligence. Indeed, we do confirm a long-standing relationship between SASSETA and the Department of Justice and Constitutional Development, and also with the Brigitte Mabandla Justice College. We implement a number of programs together annually. We operate in an economy that has not been growing in real terms over a number of years. And as an institution that depends on the skills development levy, there is then a correlation between our funding and the growth in the economy, seeing that we are funded from 1% of salaries from employers who have a salary bill annually of 500,000 rands and more. We are grateful, DG, for the skills development levy contributions that the department makes. We implore on the department to continue to do so because we desperately need these contributions. DG and colleagues, we are under extreme pressure from the private sector, subsectors in our sector, particularly private security and legal services. They are the biggest contributors to the skills development levy that we administer. Of course, they are in excess, or rather more than 4,000 employers that are contributing from the private security and legal services sector. And we're only receiving contributions from 12 government departments. But because of the nature of our sector, these government departments and public entities, they are in policing, all aspects of policing. They are in corrections, in defense, and the Department of Justice and all the other entities that are part of, or rather that have the minister as the executive authority. So if you look at the departments and the number of staff, and in the case of corrections, including the inmates as well, so there is a very big population that needs to be serviced. So we are seeing growing concerns from the private sector that they are funding, in their words, programs of government. With the high unemployment rate that exists, we always look to government departments to take on graduates as interns, to participate in our WIL and WBL programs as employers. And the private sector is seeing that as us continuing to use their contributions. Yes, it's a tax, but they see it as their contributions to be supporting government. And because of the manner in which government contributes, which is not like in the private sector where they're required to pay 1% of the salary bill. Government departments are required to pay either 10% of the 1% or 30% of the 1%. So already even those who are contributing, the contribution is significantly less than what the Skills Development Levy Act provides. So there is this growing pressure on us that has been placed to say, you are using our money to fund government programs. So it is always then helpful for us to be able to say that, particularly in the case of the last financial year, for an example, of the approximately 640 million that we were able to collect in the skills development levy, about 126 million of that came from government departments. So yes, we do understand the pressures with budget cuts, etc., but we do implore on government departments and the Department of Justice and Constitutional Development in case of present company to please do continue to contribute and where you can contribute more, to please do so. DG, we, as we all know, are struggling with an unacceptably high unemployment rate, particularly amongst the youth. And the worrying thing is that increasingly, even the youth that has completed studies and they are graduates are becoming unemployed. But what we are also seeing is that even professionals, young people in the case of the legal sector, who have served their practical vocational training, articles of clerkship, and they've become admitted as attorneys. Increasingly, even with that professional qualification and admission into the profession, they are struggling to find employment. And so when there are opportunities in the department, it always assists to lower those numbers, because we go out there to communities and we present these opportunities that are available to young people, and we always encourage them through our bursary programs and other support that we give to them to become active and participate in training programs. But it's difficult when they then say, but CEO, but SASSETA, look at that one, he's got a law degree but he's unemployed. And statistically, 1 in every 5 legally qualified persons with an LLB degree only 1 in 5 can find articles of pupillage. The other 4 then will, if they are lucky, find employment as interns and sometimes even as call center agents. So we operate in a crisis situation. We always try and accommodate the employers who are saying we can accommodate the young people, the ones who are still in training, the ones who have already qualified through internships and other programs. And the demand is very large, and we do not have the necessary skills to support everyone, but we always do. And of course, as I then conclude, we are also responsible for the skilling and upskilling of those who are already employed, and we are seeing enormous pressure being placed on those already employed by technology in this era of the 4th Industrial Revolution. And DG, the example that you made about court interpreters is a perfect example about how there is a need for skilling, for reskilling and upskilling, even of those who are employed. So we are here to recommit ourselves, because we have had a long journey with the department and with the college, and we will continue to do the best that we can within the small resources that we have to be of support. Thank you very much.